Welcome back. This episode is going to take you through the months of January and February. During this months, we were really just learning about GBS. I had just been diagnosed with it, just trying to get information about GBS, and we actually joined a support group in Whitby that have been amazing through my whole journey, and they're part of my team today. After doing the 7 rounds of plasma treatment, we quickly saw some significant progress, especially in the left side of my face. It completely went back to normal after about the 5th or 6th treatment. And I continued to do physio 5 days a week, Monday to Friday, through the whole months of January and February. This next video that you're going to see is the progression that I had through the whole month of January. After being on dialysis for over a month and a half, my kidneys finally started to work and I was taken off the dialysis machine. This is when we were able to bring up the kids every Sunday and I got to spend time with them. This was huge for me during this time because it had been so long since I had seen them for a long period of time, and now I was getting to see them once a week, which was just amazing for my mental stability being in this hospital. This is also the time that my family put in place the schedule for basically the care that I was going to require over the next significant few months. So from Sunday to Thursday, Shannon would come up and the boys would be with my mom and Tanya during this time. And then from Thursday to Sunday, my sister and my mom would come up and then Shannon would have the boys. This continued on every week for the next 2 months, all of January and February. January 14th is the first time that I was able to actually look outside of a window since November 15th. So things were starting to get back to a little bit of a normal life, and I was able to get out of my room a little bit more, which was nice. I had lost a significant amount of weight due to the fact that I was in a hospital bed for 2 months straight without movement. And this just takes a toll on the body. You lose all of your muscle. You basically just wither away. To give you an idea, when I came into the hospital, I weighed 190 pounds. I lived an active lifestyle, rode bikes with my kids, played center field on my men's league baseball team, just enjoyed being active. The first time they weighed me on January 14th, I weighed 134 pounds. So I had lost almost 60 pounds and all of it was muscle. Like there was just nothing left. There's a picture that I show. I have a friend of mine, Dominic, we joke around. He's a pretty small guy. He wears like a men's small for shirts and sometimes gets a large kid shirt to wear and just a tiny guy for being an adult. And we kind of joke around with him. Anyways, he came in and we put both of our legs together, and the leg on the left that's a little more tanned is my skinny leg compared to the skinniest guy that I know. Anyways, it was pretty eye-opening with the amount of weight loss that I'd had in the 2 months that I was bedridden. February was an interesting month in different ways. I actually was able to get a full diet, so I was back to eating normal foods, no restrictions. The doctors actually encouraged me to eat like salty foods, high carbs, chips. They said if I can eat chips as much as I want, that's great. Like anything that would just kind of absorb and salty stuff. So I literally was eating like bags of chips every day, hell of a good dip. Diet was just never been able to eat like that with so much freedom ever before in my life. So I was eating a lot, getting back to normal that way in the month of February. I was moved down from the step down room that I was in to a normal room on the floor. It's been in the same room that I'm in right now for the last 6 months, so this is home. February 3rd, I went outside for the first time. Just an amazing experience to be outside for the first time in 3 months, getting fresh air, the senses, the smells, just wind in the face, things you just take for granted in normal day-to-day life was just exhilarating for me in that one day that I got to go out. I was getting stronger and stronger with my physio in the month of February and was starting to move my legs more. and my core was, I was realizing, was getting very strong. I was able to really like hold myself and move a little bit at the side of the bed, and required little assistance during this time. We were very happy with the progression we were seeing in my physio and how I was getting stronger every day. We did notice in the month of February, though, that I was having some alarming issues with my health. And the main issue was the fact that I was having a high output. What that means is I normally had a 1 liter output before I came into the surgery, and that's how I was for the 3 years that I had my stoma. But for some reason, ever since my surgeries in November, I was putting out 3 to 4 liters, which is just very, very high. And you basically would have to be hooked up to an IV at home every night to replenish the fluids, or you'd be severely dehydrated. So that was the number one issue. The second issue was my stoma was actually recessing into my stomach. A stoma was normally supposed to stick out a few inches, but mine was actually flush with my stomach, and that's actually a huge issue that had to be looked at. We tried many medications during this time to see if we could slow the output down, but it just made me sick, caused me to vomit multiple days in a row, and took away from my eating and my gaining my weight. So it was just hindering the progression we were looking for. So after a long talks with the surgeon, my families, and different doctors, numerous CAT scans, ultrasounds, everything we could have done to look at the problem, they decided the best thing to do was to go back in and book another surgery, and go in and take 12 centimeters of my bowel out that was just not acting properly, and to refix the stoma so it would look proper. So after we decided to go ahead with this, they booked the date for surgery was March 12th. But we wanted to do one last thing before we had that surgery. Please stay tuned for my next episode, where I have the best night of my life. You're not going to want to miss this one. For Jays Picks of the Week, the Toronto Blue Jays, season opener, Sportsnet, Friday night. Go Jays, go.